Yeah.
Good morning. We are right here and right now with the Global Youth Climate Summit. Thank you so much to Oxford University and the Zaid Business Center. I am Rodolfo Beltrán and from Earth Day. I am the Regional Director for South America. I really appreciate this invitation and having the opportunity to reach you all, in different parts of the world. So congratulations to the organizer. I know what it's like organizing these things. This is something we just prepared, for fun, but it's for real. The Just Climate Summit is going to be in Brazil this year. So we are all, it's a big challenge for all. We just made this, for, as an optimism of how is it going. It's the first time that there is going to be a COP in the jungle, in the Amazon. Usually it was in big cities. We don't have anything against big cities. But now you're not going to feel only the cup. You're going to feel what is the Amazon. Before, during, and after. Thanks, on behalf of my president, Catherine Rogers, she is the president of Earth Day. I want to give everyone a welcome. And just to give an overview of what Earth Day is doing in different parts of the world. Earth Day is in 192 countries, it's based in Washington, D.C., but, each geographical area or continent, as the case of South America subcontinent, has a coordinator that gives his service to all the countries of the zones. What are our goals? I'm going to start with the goals we are after. It's service and solutions for the environment, climate education that should be included in all the NDCs, National Determined Contributions, and this not only included in the NDCs that presented this November in Belém. The plastic treaty, we have been there since 2018, and after a while, all the INCs, international negotiation committees, and we are defenders that, by 2030 should be cut the production for 60%. Innovation for green jobs. Education brings innovations for green jobs. Most of all, human rights for all. Climate justice for all, for women, for child, for youth. In 1970, it was the first Earth Day. It's a background. It was a very particular period in history. There was a war going on, the Vietnam War. There was a big spill on the Santa Barbara spill, and the time human rights. So there was a time that our founders, especially Senator Gaylord Nelson and Dennis Hayes, organized it with the cooperation of a bipartisan of the United States Congress and the teachers and students that were in the middle of a break, to organize a day for the earth. At that time, there was not a specific day for earth. So that's how they can, and they reached, 20 million people in the United States out of 200 million at that time. So, but what they achieved was not only that gathering, is after that, all the legislation, the Clean Air Act, the Water Act, and most important, the Environmental Agency of the United States was formed. So it put in agenda of governments and people the need for a day for the earth. What are the 6 levels in my experience? I've been with Earth Day since 2019, and I just wanted to give you an overview in the region what we are doing. In different parts of the world that serve other strategies. This is the strategy of the subcontinent of South America. Uh, we reach national governments, we reach subnational governments, that is governors, municipal governments, NGOs, native and indigenous communities, media support, coalition, and of course SDG goals. Here you have on screen, of the interviews that we do, the support that we have from the strategic partners. Here we visited, interview ministers. Why, just to give our message, not only for climate education, so they will be included in the NDC, but, environment as a whole, So here we have activities we do with the schools, we have cleanups, we have in Guyana, we have also a partner, and schools, which are very important. In this case, we just got recently Escolas Patricio, Carolina Patricio, Escolas pelo Clima, and Familias por el Clima in Brazil, but the same within other countries as well. Two significant scenarios where we've been working in this, for years, on the road to COP30. There was a very significant summit, in 2023, the Amazon Summit. It gathered the 9 presidents. That the Amazon is not only Brazil, it's 9 countries. It's true, Brazil is almost 60% of the Amazon. But if you gather all the Amazon territories of the different countries, it's about by itself, it's a country of 60% of the territory, of the territory that is 18 million, the total is 18 million square kilometers. And it was very significant to see how the coordination, which is very important, we work with all the NGOs and organizations as us. All are in our team, we change it. This particular one, is a coalition of the Brazilian Coalition for Climate Education. We got together 90 NGOs, 90 organizations, and we submitted a letter, hand letter, to each of the 9 presidents, back then, 2023, for COP30, 2 years before, in order for asking them to include the climate education in the EC. You see, as you see in this map, it's the first time I saw a map of an Amazon country, which is part of the 9 countries. Okay. Another activity that we did is what we call it a road show, in 4 countries in the south cone of South America. We did this after the long winter we had after COP20, that, made us to have only mainly virtual events. After that, we decided, no, now we have to go on the road. And we did it by land, we were commercial buses. It was 7,000 kilometers, and it was very grateful because we got to talk to people. The best internet sometimes is a bus, believe it or not just the planes. Here, in this presentation, I want to make a recognition to our honorary partners and their volunteers. Without them, our work couldn't have done, They gave their time, their agendas, the volunteers. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Julieta Martínez of Chile, Lucía Garzón de Colombia, Tel Guajajara, Belém, Carla Tawada, Peru, and then Francisco Manzanares of Colombia, and Cristiana Quiroga in Rio de Janeiro, Firjan, which is an organization, a 200-year organization, a private organization, and all the people that were with us this last Earth Day 2025. It was in the Firjan headquarters, by the way, And we gather experts that, you know, design the path road to COP30. These were Rick Nuttall, Edelaine Muñiz, Bruna Paola, Helios Santos, Cristiana Quiroga, Carlos Alberto Tavares, and Ricardo Jardim. You know, for them, our congratulations, and grateful, and we are very grateful. Just to see, you know, one of the things I wanted to emphasize is 6 years ago, when I reached many of those volunteers, they were kids, you know, they were children. The case, for example, here we have our champion, which is Johnny Dabrowski. He was 14, now he's 18. Francisco Manzanares was 10-year-old that went to the Colombian Senate. You know, now he's 16. And so on, you know. We have Edelaine Muniz, that leads Limpa Brazil, one of our major partners. We have also Maria Aguilar and Manu Jerry in Argentina. And Miss Silvia Santurion from Punta del Este, the Museum Pablo Neruda, and one of our main you know, partners, which is Gilberto Teixeira. He's an artist too, you know. You can see him sing. And Mavi Brillante, you know. She's our latest My Future, My Voice ambassador. I mention this because sometimes we were talking, virtually talking, you know, in conferences and events and seminars. Sometimes we have to wait from one that comes from school and the other ones was waiting to go to school because they were still in high school. You know, we had those kind of situations talking to us. All generations were present, as you can see. As the last, you know, I want to offer the services in this part of Earth Day has. We have, you know, canopy projects for forests. We have also art. We have all clothes and different things, you know, that we have. But mainly I want to emphasize, as the last part of my presentation, what we have to offer. By the way, these services are of free access to everyone, and not only for students. It's also from parents, teachers, and all people that work in schools, you know, they give their service, the education services, former students and parents. And this is a freely, you know, free access for kids, curriculum, educators, guides, and we have a scheme, you know, for that. All of the actions that we have, not only for Earth Day, which is every 22nd of April, is recorded in a world map, in which is registered with the credits of the organizers. That way they can get in touch with them, you know, and they can exchange and they can develop. One last reflection, you know, I have seen activists, 10-year-old activists in this year's 14-year activists, and see how have they evolved, you know, in times, in their responsibilities. Now, for example, you take something like Francisco Vera Manzanares, or you take something like Julieta Martinez. Now they are entrepreneurs, you know, they're leading causes such as human rights, women's rights. Francisco now is in Spain, going to universities. So the conclusion is how these activists have evolved in time, and now they are producing other leaders, and also they are producing innovation, you know, services for also all their partners. So that's a good, I think, one of my major experiences having present those 5 years to see that evolution. And it's the same evolution that is going to go now. For example, one of our youngest partners now is Mavi Brillante. She went to a COP, you know, when she was 10, now she's 12. She's one of the youngest ones. And I think of her 4 years from now, with artificial intelligence, how is she going to be, you know? What enterprises, she's going to have other organizations. She's going to design to cope to this changing world. To end, we have 250 honorary partners, 1,000 volunteers. Please, anyone can register volunteer for us, It goes two ways, within their agendas. Each one has an agenda. And the main thing is, how can everything be useful for them? It's not how they can be useful for organization. How can we be useful for them, their cause, their parents, and all their dreams? Thank you very much.